Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are taking a deep look into Russia's major plan to overhaul its entire civilian fleet. We will explore why new ship orders have dropped to a 10-year low, how high interest rates are crippling fleet updates, and what the Kremlin plans to do about it. We will also break down the shift to mass serial production, the struggle with domestic parts, and how key Arctic trade routes fit into this massive strategy. So make sure to watch till the end. The United Shipbuilding Corporation, or USC, of Russia has developed a comprehensive long-term strategy. It aims to transition the country's civilian shipbuilding industry from a system that is primarily based on individual projects to one that is increasingly reliant on serial production. The plan is being implemented in response to the multiple challenges of replacing an aging commercial fleet and ensuring that domestically constructed vessels are economically viable for operators in Russia. Mikhail Afonmutin, director of USC's Department of Sales and Contracting for Civil Shipbuilding, presented the strategy at the Shipbuilding Strategy 2026 conference in St. Petersburg on July 23rd. The conference concentrated on Russia's shipbuilding strategy through 2036, import substitution of marine equipment, preferential leasing, and measures designed to ensure predictable assignments for domestic shipyards. Moving on to the core issue, Russia needs ships, but orders are falling at a drastic rate. Here on Altitude Addicts, we closely track industrial developments, and the most striking number presented by USC concerns the sharp decline in new contracts. Only 36 civilian vessels were contracted at Russian shipyards in 2025, which is the lowest figure recorded in a decade. In contrast, Russian yards received contracts for an average of approximately 126 civilian vessels annually between 2016 and 2025, with a total value of approximately 318 billion rubles. Look, this sudden drop is hitting them right when they need ships the most, which just shows how messy things have gotten. Russia's baseline shipbuilding strategy anticipates the construction of over 1,600 civilian vessels and marine equipment by 2036. The requirement is partly driven by the age of the existing fleet, as a substantial number of vessels presently in operation were built in the 1970s and 1980s, and will gradually necessitate replacement. Therefore, Afonmutin contended that Russia does not actually experience a shortage of ship demand. The challenge is to transform theoretical demand into projects that are technically mature, commercially viable, and prepared for financing. In other words, knowing that hundreds of ships will eventually need replacement does not automatically create shipbuilding contracts. This brings us directly to the massive challenge of financing these fleets. One of the biggest obstacles is simply the cost of money. Construction schedules for ships can extend over several years, rendering them expensive industrial assets. During that period, material prices, interest rates, and financing conditions can change considerably, exposing ship owners and shipyards to risks that are difficult to predict when a contract is first signed. Calculations for vessel leasing were used by USC to clarify the issue. USC estimates that an acceptable financing rate would be approximately 4.5 to 4.6% annually, assuming a 25-year lease. Shipowner operating expenditures of approximately $3,100 per day, and an exchange rate of 80 rubles to the dollar. The monthly leasing payments may increase by several million rubles if the rate increases to 7.6%. The operator must then either find a method to reduce the vessel's acquisition price or generate substantially more revenue from it. That financial equation helps explain why identified fleet requirements have not automatically translated into orders. Up next, we're going to look at how serial production could completely change the economic landscape for these shipyards, along with the actual target percentages set for 2036 and 2050. So stay tuned. According to USC, One solution to this issue is to promote greater standardization. Rather than primarily designing and building vessels as individual projects, Russian shipyards could increasingly employ standardized platforms, common equipment, and repeatable production processes. This approach has been exemplified by USC's Platform Number 1 concept. Shipyards may potentially allocate engineering and development expenses among multiple vessels through serial construction. Supply chains can be structured to accommodate larger production runs, workers become accustomed to repeatable processes, and equipment manufacturers are afforded increased visibility into future demand. The same philosophy is reflected in the broader Russian shipbuilding strategy. By 2036, the government plans to increase the percentage of serially produced vessels from approximately 30% to 50% of the domestic shipbuilding output, with the target expected to increase to 80% by 2050. In addition, Russia seeks to increase the proportion of domestically manufactured vessels in its civilian fleet to 61% by 2036 and 64% by 2050. That signifies a huge industrial transformation. Shipyards would become more akin to production systems designed around families of vessels, rather than facilities routinely reorganized for one-time projects. Despite these ambitious targets, import substitution remains a critical challenge. Over at Altitude Addicts, we see this pattern often where design meets real-world supply roadblocks. Afonyutin identified regulatory requirements that are not consistently in alignment with the preparedness of Russian marine equipment manufacturers. Extensive networks of engines, propulsion systems, navigation equipment, automation, electronics, pumps, and other specialized components are essential for modern vessels. The entire construction program may be postponed if a domestic component mandated by regulation is unavailable, insufficiently mature, or substantially more expensive. The challenge, therefore, is not limited to shipyards. Corresponding serial production is necessary throughout the marine equipment supply chain to facilitate serial shipbuilding. This makes predictable orders particularly important. The likelihood of equipment manufacturers investing in production capacity is increased when they expect their products will be required by dozens of similar ships over the course of several years. Now, turning to where these vessels will actually deploy, strategic routes will drive demand. The government has already designated several vessel categories that will be the subject of special attention. Coming up in just a moment, we will cover the specific numbers planned for the Northern Sea route and the exact gap between projected needs and real pipeline contracts, so don't go anywhere. Among these are ships that operate in the North-South Transport Corridor and the Northern Sea Route, as well as large-capacity tankers, gas carriers, bulk carriers, icebreakers, support vessels, fishery vessels, and passenger ships. The number of vessels operating on the Northern Sea Route is expected to reach 51 by 2036 and potentially 135 by 2050 under the broader strategy. Calculating future ship needs is a complete moving target right now, depending on who you ask in Moscow. The current prospective plan, as stated by Deputy Industry and Trade Minister Albert Karimov in July 2026, identified a demand for approximately 1,300 new civilian vessels through 2035. The figure in question was characterized as approximate and includes both existing contracts and prospective requirements. In contrast, the broader strategic baseline, which extends through 2036, exceeds 1,600 vessels and marine units. Bridging this gap requires moving from simple ship requirements to a functional industrial pipeline. USC's presentation highlights a distinction that could determine whether Russia's shipbuilding targets are achievable. A country may determine that it requires 1,600 vessels. However, shipyards are incapable of building vessels solely based on demand projections. Finance, an approved design, and operator a supply chain capable of delivering the required equipment, and an economically viable business case are all required for each vessel. As we often emphasize on Altitude Addicts, having a plan on paper is only half the battle. In essence, USC's strategy is an effort to integrate these components into a predictable industrial pipeline. Shipyards may receive extended production runs, rather than irregular individual contracts, if Russia can aggregate demand around standard vessel platforms and provide financing at rates that operators can sustain. This, in turn, could encourage investment in equipment fabrication, automation, and increased production capacity. The central issue for USC is no longer whether Russia requires new ships. Is it possible to transform theoretical demand into a genuine decade-long shipbuilding program by converting that enormous replacement requirement into financed, standardized, and continuously produced vessels? We thank the people who have liked and shared the videos and subscribed to the channel. We also thank the people who have hyped the videos